Feelings of deprivation as a child, whether or not those were objectively bad or not, that can manifest as binge spending as an adult. A lot of times because you're trying to overcompensate for that feeling of lack that you had when you were growing up. And if you try to fix that overspending with traditional advice like budgeting, it can actually just exacerbate those symptoms because budgets really focus on scarcity and lack. And that's something that I found with myself when I was really trying to change my financial situation. Like I was living paycheck to paycheck, I was making decent money, but I never seemed to be able to save anything or get any further ahead. Like I was $40,000 in debt. I never thought I was going to be able to pay that off. And I thought the only way to change it was to restrict myself and tell myself that I couldn't have anything. And so I would do well for a little bit. I would restrict myself. I'd be like, no, Nicole, you can't even buy a water when you go out. You have to make sure you bring your own water from home. And what would happen is I would do really well for like a month or two. I would start saving some money, and then something would happen where I'd be like, well, I work hard and I deserve this and I should be able to treat myself. I should be able to spend money, and I would end up binging again. And it became this vicious cycle. So like the same way that if you wanted to get healthy or you wanted to lose weight, you wouldn't go on a diet because diets are restrictive and you may see results for a short period of time, but you're not going to see that long-term change that you want. When you budget, you're kind of approaching your finances from a similar perspective. You're telling yourself all the money that you don't have and the things that you don't have and saying that there's a limited amount of money. And that just exacerbates those feelings of deprivation. And it puts you back into the same situation that you were trying to avoid. So the solution, quote unquote, actually becomes part of the cause of the problem. When I realized that, everything started to change for me. I was able to start saving money effortlessly. I was able to start making more money effortlessly. And it wasn't until that I threw everything that society told me about money out the window and developed my own way to get ahead with money that I was really able to see massive change in my life. Like I paid off that $40,000 of debt in 18 months. I saved my first 100K by 25. I paid for my wedding in cash. I bought my dream home. And now I am set to retire in my 30s. But it would never have been possible if I didn't heal that money trauma and I stopped trying to use tactic that actually just put me back into that negative headspace that exacerbated those symptoms and caused that vicious cycle.